Let's call this graph A. And if we are looking at this, it's a parabola. We want to know if this ordered pair, 1, -4, lies on the graph. And if I go over 1 and down 4, I come to right about there. That is the ordered pair 1, 4, -4. And that's not on the graph. So the answer to that question is no. And what does that mean? That means that 1, -4 is not a solution to the graph. So if I were given this graph and asked, is 1, -4 on the graph? No, it's not. So therefore, it's not a solution to that parabola. But we could name 3 or more ordered pairs that are on the graph. For example, there's one right here. And it looks like we have another ordered pair right there, and one right there, and maybe even one right there. So we have a few to choose from. I'm going to say that 0, 0 appears to be on the graph. 1, -1 appears to be on the graph, and this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0 is also on the graph. So there are 3 ordered pairs that are on the graph, and they are solutions to the equation for that parabola. We're going to look a little bit below at some different notation, asking similar kinds of questions. We want to find ordered pairs that are on a given function's graph, but we are only given 1/2 or one coordinate of the two. And the coordinate that we're usually given, can you tell? Is it the x or the f of x? Or in this case, the g of x? Which one is it that we're given? So if we're given that number right there, that is the x, right? So here we're given this value is an x, this value is an x, this value is an x, and we're trying to find the g that goes with it, or the g of x. And you can keep this, you can use this sentence, when x is blank, f of x is blank, or in this case, g of x, to help you out with this graph of g of x. So when x is -4, g of x is what? So if I look for x, 1, 2, 3, 4, -4, that's right here. And then I'm going to track it up until I hit the graph, an ordered pair on the graph, and that's this one right here. And so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So -4, 6 is an ordered pair on my graph. And so the g of x that goes along with an x of -4 is 6. And we write that in this format, g of -4 equals 6. That is another way of saying we have an ordered pair, -4, 6, that's on our graph. So those are equivalent, but we do want you to be very familiar with this format, using function notation to talk about the x value causing an output of the 6 on this g graph. Let's look at the other ones. So we have g of 1, and we're looking at a +1. So we're saying when x is 1, so pop over here, x is 1, that puts you right there. G of x is also 1. So that would mean that we would say g of 1 equals 1 for this graph. And then here we have g of 5, which means we're looking when x is 5, g of x is what? So we're looking for an x of 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 1, 2, 3. G of x is 3. So g of 5 is 3 is the way we would say that in function notation.